Before the world learned how to count seconds and name the hours, the Earth already understood rest. Long before cities glowed through the night and machines filled the air with sound, the planet followed a slower rhythm, one guided by breath rather than clocks. This story begins at that gentle moment when the Earth starts to quiet itself, when even its strongest forces prepare to sleep. As evening spreads across the land, the light softens. Shadows stretch longer, and colors slowly fade into deeper tones. The ground beneath your imagination feels steady and warm, carrying memories of heat and cold, fire and ice, all held in balance. There is no rush here. The Earth does not hurry into night. It arrives calmly, like a deep, untroubled breath. Somewhere beyond the reach of human roads, a mountain shaped by fire rests beneath a sky turning dark. During the day, it may appear powerful and unpredictable, its surface marked by past eruptions and flowing stone. But now, under the quiet watch of the stars, it glows faintly, not with danger, but with calm. The fire within has not disappeared. It has simply settled, like embers beneath ash, glowing softly, patiently. The air around the mountain is still, warmed gently by the hidden heat below. Nothing shakes. Nothing demands attention. Even fire, one of the most powerful forces the planet holds, understands this hour. It does not need to roar to prove its strength. In the silence of night, its quiet presence is enough. Far from this resting volcano, the land changes slowly. Warm earth gives way to colder ground. Hills rise higher, air grows thinner, and ice begins to appear. Snow clings to stone, reflecting the fading light of the day. Ice-covered mountains stand tall and unmoving, their surfaces shaped by centuries of wind and cold. They have endured storms and shifting seasons, yet tonight they are calm, holding still beneath the stars. These frozen peaks are not empty or lifeless. Beneath layers of snow and ice, the mountain breathes in its own slow way. Ice expands and contracts with temperature, making soft, distant sounds, like whispers carried through stone. It is a quiet conversation between cold and time, spoken only when the world grows still. Above it all, the sky deepens. Clouds move lazily, stretched thin by high winds that now slow as night settles in. Stars begin to appear, one by one, scattered across the darkness like gentle reminders of distance and peace. The moon rises without urgency, its pale light washing softly over fire-shaped mountains and ice-covered peaks alike. Fire and ice exist together on this planet, not as enemies, but as parts of a larger balance. One warms, one cools. One moves, one holds still. Yet both know how to rest. Both understand silence. As you listen to this story, allow yourself to follow the planet's rhythm. Let your breathing slow, matching the quiet pulse beneath the Earth's surface. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. This is a place of calm observation, where strength does not demand action, and power does not disturb the night. The Earth continues to settle. Winds soften further. The distant sounds of movement fade. Animals find shelter. Snow stops falling. Even the oceans begin to quiet, their waves stretching farther apart, rolling gently instead of crashing. This is the beginning of rest, not only for the planet, but for you. Fire glows quietly beneath stone. Ice holds steady beneath moonlight, and silence becomes something comforting, something full, something safe. As the night deepens, the Earth slowly turns toward its colder places, where ice and water meet in quiet understanding. Vast frozen seas stretch beyond the horizon, their surfaces sealed beneath thick layers of ice that move only when time allows. Here, the world feels paused, as if the planet itself is holding a gentle breath. Beneath the ice, the ocean remains awake, but calm. Water drifts slowly in the darkness, guided by unseen currents that have traveled these paths for thousands of years. There is no urgency in their movement. Each slow shift carries warmth and cold in perfect balance, reminding the planet how to stay steady through long nights. The ice above listens. It creaks softly, responding to temperature and pressure with sounds so faint they blend into silence. These are not cracks of danger, but quiet adjustments, the natural language of frozen water settling into rest. The ice sea does not fight the cold. It welcomes it. Moonlight slides across the frozen surface, breaking into gentle patterns as it touches ridges and smooth plains alike. The light does not shine harshly here. It glows softly, turning the ice into a mirror for the sky. Stars appear scattered across the frozen ocean, reflected and repeated, as if the universe itself has slowed down to watch. The air above the ice sea is clean and still. Wind passes gently, barely brushing the surface, careful not to disturb the calm. When it does move, it carries the quiet scent of cold and salt, blending sea and sky into a single peaceful presence. Far below, sea creatures move without sound. Some drift slowly, conserving energy. Others rest along the ocean floor, wrapped in darkness and pressure that feels safe rather than heavy. Life here has learned patience. It knows that survival does not always mean motion. Sometimes, it means stillness. The ice sea teaches the earth how to be quiet. It absorbs sound, softens movement, and stretches moments longer than they seem elsewhere. Time itself feels slower here, as if each second is allowed to unfold completely before the next one begins. As you imagine this frozen world, allow your thoughts to slow as well. Like the water beneath the ice, your mind can drift gently, without direction, without effort. There is nothing to solve, nothing to plan. The earth is steady, and so are you. Nearby, glaciers rest against distant shores, massive and ancient. They have traveled inch by inch over land for ages, shaping valleys and carrying memories of colder worlds. Tonight they do not move. They pause, settled into silence, sharing their cold with the sea in a quiet exchange older than memory. Above the frozen ocean, clouds thin and stretch, moving slowly across the stars. They do not hurry. They know the night is long. The sky feels wide and open, offering space for rest and calm. Even the horizon seems softer here. Lines blur gently between ice, water, and sky, making it hard to tell where one ends and another begins. Everything blends into a single peaceful scene, held together by cold and quiet. The earth turns steadily, without sound, carrying this frozen sea through the night. Fire burns far away beneath mountains, but here, ice reigns calmly. Not as a force of resistance, but as a keeper of balance. In this place, silence is not empty. It is full of slow movement, quiet life, and deep calm. It wraps around the planet like a blanket, preparing it for deeper rest. Stay here a moment longer. Let the stillness settle. The earth is calm, and it invites you to be calm with it. Deep beneath the surface of the earth, far from moonlight and frozen seas, fire moves in slow, deliberate silence. It does not rush. It does not demand attention. Hidden below layers of rock and time, molten stone flows gently through vast underground chambers, glowing softly like a distant memory of warmth. This fire has existed long before anyone feared it, long before it was named or measured. Tonight, the Earth's interior is never still, but it is calm. Heat rises slowly, transferring energy through stone in a steady rhythm. There are no sudden movements here, no sharp sounds. Everything unfolds at a pace set by the planet itself. This deep fire understands patience better than any surface world ever could. Above this hidden warmth, the ground feels solid and quiet. Mountains formed by ancient eruptions now stand cooled and settled, their once liquid surfaces hardened into stone. At night, these volcanic landscapes appear peaceful, their shapes softened by darkness. Craters and ridges cast long shadows, and faint warmth escapes through cracks in the earth, just enough to remind the world of what sleeps below. A resting volcano is not empty. It is full of slow life. Gases rise gently through narrow paths, escaping without force, like a quiet sigh from the planet's chest. The glow deep inside pulses faintly, steady and calm, mirroring a slow heartbeat. Fire does not disappear when it rests. It simply becomes quiet. The air around these mountains is warmer than the surrounding land, creating soft currents that lift and drift without direction. Wind brushes across dark stone, carrying warmth upward into the cool night sky. There is no conflict between heat and cold here. They meet gently, blending into a comfortable balance. Above the volcanic slopes, stars shine clearly. The sky feels closer in these places, as if the planet's surface and the universe beyond are quietly connected. Heat from below rises, cold from above descends, and somewhere between them, the night holds steady. Long ago, this fire reshaped the world. It lifted mountains, opened oceans, and created the land itself. Yet now, it chooses stillness. It allows the surface to cool, the air to settle, and the night to remain undisturbed. There is a lesson in this quiet strength. Power does not always need to move. Sometimes it simply waits. As you imagine this hidden world beneath your feet, let your own body feel supported. The earth carries its fire without struggle, just as it carries you now. You do not need to hold tension. You can rest, knowing that strength can exist without effort. The contrast between fire and ice becomes clear in this moment. Far away, frozen seas and snow-covered mountains hold cold in perfect calm. Here, beneath stone, warmth waits patiently. Both forces coexist without noise, without conflict, each playing its part in the planet's slow rhythm. Even the ground seems to listen during the night. Stone absorbs heat gradually, releasing it slowly, creating a gentle warmth that lasts until morning. This quiet exchange continues without interruption, night after night, century after century. Animals that live near these volcanic lands sense the calm. They settle into rest, trusting the stability of the ground beneath them. Birds perch on cooled rock. Small creatures find warmth in shallow caves. Life adapts not to fear, but to balance. The earth does not rush toward dawn. It lingers in this peaceful state, allowing fire to sleep and stone to cool. Silence deepens, wrapping around the landscape like a protective layer. In this quiet, the planet feels whole. Fire breathes slowly beneath stone. Ice holds steady beneath the stars. And the night stretches gently onward, offering rest to everything it touches. Remain here a little longer. Let the warmth fade into comfort. The earth is calm, and it invites you to be calm as well. As the earth continues its slow journey through the night, attention drifts away from what lies beneath the ground and rises gently into the open air. Wind becomes the quiet traveler now, moving softly across land shaped by fire and ice. It carries no urgency, no sharp edges. At this hour, the wind has learned how to whisper. High above valleys and frozen seas, the atmosphere settles into layers of calm. Warm air released from resting volcanic lands rises slowly, meeting cooler air drifting down from snow-covered peaks. Where they meet, the wind is born not as a force, but as a gentle flow. It moves carefully, as if aware that the planet is sleeping. Across forests, the wind threads its way between trees. Leaves shift slightly, branches sway just enough to acknowledge its presence. There is no storm, no rush. The sound it creates is soft and rhythmic, like breathing shared between the earth and the sky. Trees respond by bending calmly, their roots steady and strong, holding them in place as they rest. In mountain regions, the wind glides along rocky slopes, tracing paths carved long ago by glaciers and flowing stone. It follows ridges and dips into valleys, carrying the memory of cold and warmth from one place to another. Each movement is slow, deliberate, almost careful, as if the wind itself does not wish to wake the land below. Farther north, snow-covered landscapes stretch beneath the stars. Here, the wind barely touches the ground. It moves above the snow, lifting fine crystals into the air where they shimmer briefly in moonlight before settling again. The snow accepts this movement without resistance, reshaping gently, maintaining its quiet order. The sky above feels vast and open, yet close enough to feel protective. Clouds drift slowly, thin and stretched, allowing stars to shine through. They do not block the night. They soften it. The moon remains steady, watching over fire-shaped mountains, frozen seas, and silent forests alike. Wind carries sound across great distances, but tonight there is little to carry. The world has grown quiet. Oceans roll slowly, waves spreading farther apart. Ice shifts softly. Stone cools. Everything contributes to the calm. As you listen, allow the wind's gentle movement to guide your thoughts. Imagine them drifting slowly, without direction, without effort. Like air moving through open space, your mind does not need to hold on to anything. It can move freely, then settle. The Earth relies on this nightly balance. Wind redistributes warmth, carries moisture, and connects distant places in invisible ways. Yet it does so without disturbance. It performs its work quietly, respecting the stillness of night. In forests, animals rest beneath the cover of branches and leaves. The wind moves above them, careful not to disturb. In open plains, it passes lightly over grass, creating waves that rise and fall like a calm ocean of green and silver under moonlight. Even near frozen seas, the wind slows. It touches the ice briefly, then lifts away, leaving behind nothing but a faint whisper. The cold remains steady. The silence remains whole. The earth turns steadily beneath the sky, carried by forces far greater than wind, yet everything feels gentle. Nothing pulls sharply. Nothing pushes too hard. Balance holds. This is the rhythm of the planet at rest. Fire sleeps beneath stone. Ice holds the cold. Wind moves carefully between them. Silence fills the spaces in between, making room for calm. Stay with this feeling. Let the slow movement of air lull your senses. The night is deep, and the earth continues to rest. The night grows deeper, and with it comes a quieter kind of darkness, one that feels soft rather than heavy. Across the planet, the oceans begin to slow, their endless motion easing into a gentler rhythm. Waves still move, but they travel farther apart now, rising and falling with patience instead of force. The sea understands the language of rest. Under the moon's pale glow, the surface of the ocean reflects shifting light, broken only by small ripples that fade almost as soon as they appear. The water feels vast and calm, stretching beyond sight, holding the memory of storms without needing to repeat them. Tonight, the sea chooses silence. Far from shore, the water is darker, deeper, and quieter. Beneath the surface, life drifts slowly, guided by currents that move like slow thoughts. Fish glide without hurry. Larger creatures conserve energy, suspended in the gentle pressure of the deep. The ocean does not demand motion. It allows rest. Where the sea meets land shaped by fire, warmth, and water share a quiet boundary. Black volcanic rock extends into the water, cooled long ago, its sharp edges softened by time and waves. The ocean brushes against it gently, erasing the last signs of heat with calm persistence. There is no struggle between them, only balance. At night, coastal winds soften. They move across the water in slow patterns, carrying the scent of salt and stone. The air feels clean and cool, mixing warmth rising from the land with cold drifting from open sea. Each breath of wind is unhurried, careful not to disturb the surface below. In polar regions, night seas freeze further. Ice expands slowly, sealing cracks and smoothing edges. The sound of freezing water is faint, almost musical, a soft settling that blends into the quiet. Ice does not rush to claim the sea. It arrives gradually, layer by layer, building calm instead of force. The stars reflect faintly on open water between ice sheets, appearing and disappearing with the movement of waves. Sky and sea mirror one another, connected through darkness and light. The horizon blurs, making it hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. As the earth turns, tides shift almost imperceptibly. Water responds to distant gravity with gentle obedience, rising and falling without drama. This motion is ancient, dependable, and calming. The ocean has followed this pattern longer than memory itself. Imagine standing near this quiet sea, listening to the soft rhythm of water meeting shore. Each sound fades quickly, leaving space for silence. Your breathing naturally slows, matching the steady pace of the waves. The earth invites you to rest with it. Even in the deepest parts of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, calm prevails. Pressure holds everything in place, creating a sense of stability rather than weight. Life here moves slowly, conserving energy, existing peacefully in darkness. Fire may shape the land, ice may shape the sea, but water connects them all. At night, it becomes a carrier of calm, spreading rest across the planet's surface. The sea does not sleep in the way humans do, but it does quiet itself. It lowers its voice. It stretches time. It creates space for stillness. As the night continues, The ocean remains steady, holding its place between fire and ice, warmth and cold, movement and rest. Silence grows deeper, and the earth feels balanced, whole and calm. Stay here a moment longer. Let the sound of the sea fade into quiet. The planet is resting, and it welcomes you into that rest. As the quiet of the ocean settles into the night, the earth gently turns toward its higher places, where mountains rise slowly into the dark sky. These ancient forms stand in stillness, shaped by fire, ice, and time itself. At night, mountains do not appear distant or intimidating. They feel protective, like silent guardians watching over the sleeping land. Rock faces cool gradually as the last warmth of the day fades. Stone releases heat slowly, creating a soft balance between warmth and cold that lingers through the night. The surface of the mountain does not crack or shift loudly. It adjusts in silence, responding patiently to the change in temperature. Snow-covered peaks glow faintly under moonlight. Their edges soften in the darkness, losing sharpness and becoming gentle shapes against the sky. Snow settles without sound, adding thin layers that rest lightly on rock and ice. Each flake finds its place, contributing to the calm. Higher still, the air grows thinner and quieter. Wind moves carefully here, gliding across ridges and slipping into valleys. It does not roar or whistle. It flows smoothly, tracing the mountain's shape as if memorizing every curve. The mountain allows this movement, standing firm and unmoved. Ice clings to shaded slopes, reflecting starlight in brief, subtle flashes. Glaciers rest within valleys carved long ago, their slow journeys paused for the night. Though they appear frozen in place, they continue their patient existence, pressing gently against the land, shaping it over centuries instead of moments. These ice mountains hold cold with calm confidence. They do not resist warmth, they simply remain steady. Beneath layers of snow and ice, the mountain's core stays solid and secure, carrying the memory of fire from its creation while embracing the cold of its present. Far below, forests at the base of these mountains grow quiet. Trees stand tall and still, their branches barely moving. The wind passes through them slowly, creating a soft rustle that feels more like breathing than sound. Roots hold firm in the earth, connecting surface life to deep stone. Animals find shelter among rocks, trees, and snow. They curl into rest, trusting the stability of the mountain around them. There is no fear here, only familiarity. The land has provided protection for countless nights before this one. Above it all, the sky feels close and endless at the same time. Stars shine steadily, unblinking, as if sharing watch over the sleeping peaks. Clouds drift slowly, never fully covering the light, allowing the night to remain open and calm. Mountains teach patience. They rise slowly, change gradually, and endure quietly. At night, they share this lesson freely, offering a sense of grounding and stillness to everything around them. As you imagine standing near these silent peaks, feel the steadiness beneath you. The earth is strong, but it is also gentle. It holds its shape without tension, offering support without demand. Fire once lifted these mountains from the earth's surface. Ice and wind shaped them over time. Now, in the quiet of night, they simply rest, balanced between forces that no longer push or pull. Silence here is deep and complete, yet never empty. It is filled with slow processes, steady presence, and calm endurance. The mountain does not need to move to exist. It does not need sound to be powerful. The earth continues its slow rotation, carrying these peaks through darkness toward dawn. For now, they remain still, wrapped in cold, comforted by silence. Stay with this feeling of steadiness. Let it settle into you. The mountains are resting, and you are safe to rest with them. As the mountains remain still beneath the stars, the Earth's attention drifts once more into motion, not through force, but through flow. The wind returns quietly, weaving its way through forests and open land, carrying the night with it. This is not the wind of storms or change. This is the wind of rest. In forests spread across valleys and hills, trees stand tall and calm. Their leaves and needles move gently as the wind passes through, creating soft, repeating sounds that blend into the silence rather than break it. Each branch responds with a slow sway, then returns to stillness, as if nodding in quiet agreement with the night. The trunks remain steady, rooted deep into the soil. Beneath the surface, roots spread wide, gripping earth shaped by fire and cooled by time. These roots feel the slow temperature changes, the faint vibration of distant movement, and the comforting weight of the land above them. Everything is connected, even in silence. The wind does not hurry through these forests. It moves in waves, rising and falling gently, like breathing shared by thousands of trees at once. Air flows around leaves, between branches, and across the forest floor, carrying faint scents of soil, bark, and distant water. In colder regions, snow-covered trees stand quietly, their branches heavy with white layers that reflect moonlight softly. The wind moves around them carefully, lifting small traces of snow into the air before allowing them to settle again. Each movement is brief and delicate, never disturbing the deeper calm. Night animals listen but do not react. They recognize the sound. It is familiar and safe. They remain still, trusting the rhythm of the forest. There is no urgency in their world at this hour. Rest is as natural as movement. The sky above remains open and clear. Stars continue their steady watch, unaffected by the wind below. Clouds pass slowly, stretch thin, allowing light to filter through without dimming the night. Even in places shaped by fire, forests grow and rest. Trees rooted in volcanic soil draw quiet strength from minerals formed long ago by heat and pressure. At night, the ground releases warmth slowly, rising gently through trunks and branches, offering comfort against the cooling air. The wind carries this warmth upward, mixing it with cooler air from higher elevations. Balance forms naturally without effort. The earth does not force harmony. It allows it. As you imagine standing within this forest, allow the gentle movement to relax you. There is no need to focus. Sounds come and go on their own. Thoughts can drift like leaves, then settle. The forest does not sleep completely, but it rests deeply. Growth pauses. Movement slows. Energy is conserved. The night provides space for renewal without action. Wind around trees becomes a lullaby written by the planet itself. It repeats without variation, without demand, creating a sense of safety and continuity. Nothing unexpected happens. Everything remains as it should be. Far beyond these forests, ice seas and fire mountains continue their quiet rest. All parts of the earth participate in this shared stillness, each in its own way, each connected through time and balance. The wind gradually fades, leaving the forest almost completely silent. Leaves stop moving. Branches settle. Roots hold steady. The night deepens further. Stay with this calm. Let the forest's quiet breathing guide your own. The earth is resting, and it invites you to rest within its rhythm. The night reaches its deepest point, when even movement feels optional and the earth settles into its quiet center. In this hour, snow begins to fall in places where cold holds the land gently. Each flake drifts downward without sound, guided only by gravity and calm air. There is no rush in its descent. Snow arrives exactly when it means to. Across open plains and mountain slopes, the ground receives this snowfall patiently. White layers form slowly, softening every surface they touch. Edges disappear. Shapes blur. The world becomes simpler, smoother, easier on the eyes and the mind. Snow does not change the land structure. It rests upon it, offering a quiet covering. The air grows still as snow continues to fall. Wind pauses, allowing flakes to land without disturbance. The silence deepens, absorbing what little sound remains. Snow is a master of quiet, turning even the loudest landscapes into places of rest. Under moonlight, the snow reflects a pale glow, illuminating the night without waking it. Light spreads evenly across fields, forests, and frozen rivers. There are no harsh shadows here, only gentle contrast. Everything feels balanced and calm. In forests, snow settles on branches and leaves, adding weight without strain. Trees accept it easily, bending slightly, then holding still. The sound of snowfall is nearly impossible to hear, yet its presence is undeniable. It transforms the forest into a place of deep, uninterrupted peace. Footprints from earlier in the day fade as snow fills them in, erasing signs of movement and returning the land to a state of quiet completeness. The Earth seems to reset itself, smoothing over the past and preparing for what comes next. Animals adapt instinctively to this stillness. They find shelter, conserve energy, and trust the cold to remain steady. Snow insulates the ground, protecting roots and soil from harsher temperatures. What appears cold and empty from above is, in truth, gentle and protective. Farther north, frozen landscapes stretch endlessly beneath the stars. Snow-covered ice mountains reflect light softly, blending seamlessly with the sky. The horizon becomes almost invisible, as if land and air have agreed to rest together. Beneath the snow, the Earth remains warm enough to sustain life. Fire-shaped stone holds heat deep below, releasing it slowly upward. Ice above reflects cold back into the sky. Between them, balance remains unbroken. As you imagine this snow-filled world, allow its simplicity to quiet your thoughts. Snow removes detail, softens contrast, and reduces distraction. The mind follows naturally, letting go of sharp edges and unnecessary movement. Time feels slower here. Moments stretch. There is no urgency to move forward. The night holds everything gently, allowing rest to deepen without effort. Even distant oceans feel the influence of this quiet. Cold air drifting from snowy lands cools surface waters, encouraging calm currents and steady rhythms. The planet works quietly, smoothly, without interruption. Snow continues to fall, flake by flake, until movement becomes nearly imperceptible. The Earth feels fully settled now, wrapped in layers of cold and calm. Remain in this quiet moment. Let the stillness surround you. The night is deep, and the Earth is resting completely. As the snow settles and the wind retreats, the night deepens further into a quiet that seems almost sacred. Even the stars seem to pause, their steady light reflecting across mountains, forests, and frozen seas with a calm insistence. Somewhere in this vast stillness, fire beneath the Earth continues to glow faintly, distant and controlled, reminding the world that power can rest as easily as it can move. On volcanic slopes, the heat beneath stone radiates slowly, just enough to touch the cool night air. The warmth mingles with the cold, creating a subtle balance that can be felt more than seen. There is no rush in this meeting of opposites, no tension, only a soft, enduring exchange. Fire and ice coexist peacefully, each honoring the other's presence in the night. The wind moves again, though gently, tracing slow patterns across valleys and over ridges. It is not loud or forceful. It glides as if it, too, knows this is a time for calm. Leaves on trees sway minimally, creating soft rustles that blend seamlessly with the faint whisper of distant water. Every sound is measured, quiet, and intentional, adding to the world's lullaby. In coastal areas, waves roll across the shore at a slower pace. The ocean's motion is long and smooth, each swell rising and falling as if in rhythm with a quiet heartbeat beneath the surface. Moonlight glimmers on the water, casting silver trails that shift gently with the current. Even the sea, which is often loud and restless, has learned how to pause. Night creatures move cautiously, not out of fear, but out of respect for the stillness surrounding them. Small mammals curl into soft dens, birds roost quietly, and larger animals find shelter among rocks and trees. All life adjusts instinctively to the rhythm of the night, finding comfort in the same balance that the Earth itself maintains. Above, clouds drift slowly, stretched and thin, almost as if drawn by invisible hands to frame the stars. Their passage is gradual, adding a soft texture to the sky without interrupting the moon's pale glow. Light and shadow mingle delicately across snowy plains and icy mountains, creating a muted, peaceful palette that feels like it has been painted specifically for rest. Far from the eye of human activity, glaciers shift imperceptibly, pressing slowly against the valleys carved over millennia. They are patient travelers, moving only in tiny increments, yet their presence is monumental. They remind the planet and anyone watching that true power lies in persistence, patience, and the ability to remain steady through long nights and endless seasons. Even the air itself feels softer here. Breaths of wind carry scents of cold, wet earth, fresh snow, and distant volcanic minerals. These fragrances are subtle, but they reinforce the sense of calm, grounding anyone who breathes them into the present, into the quiet, into rest. Fire still burns beneath the mountains in its deep chambers, but it does so without urgency. Each pulse of warmth rises slowly, gently influencing the surrounding stone and soil. The energy within is contained, deliberate, and silent. It does not demand attention, yet it supports all that lives above it. Fire, when still, becomes invisible strength, felt rather than heard. The contrast between warmth and cold, movement and stillness, light and shadow, is what shapes this night. It is a night that teaches the world how to pause, how to release tension, how to become part of the Earth's own rhythm. Each element, wind, water, fire, ice, and life, participates without disturbance, contributing to a shared sense of peace. Imagine lying beneath this vast sky, surrounded by mountains, forests, oceans, and glaciers. You feel the subtle warmth of the earth beneath you and the cool touch of night above. Snow drifts lightly, wind passes softly, and water moves with an almost imperceptible rhythm. You are held within a world that has existed for millennia, a world that knows exactly how to rest. As minutes stretch into hours, the night seems endless, but never oppressive. Each moment is deliberate, allowing the mind and body to settle naturally. Fire beneath the earth, ice upon the mountains, and wind among the trees combine into a rhythm that encourages deep, unhurried relaxation. Even the smallest details, the faint creak of a glacier, the soft sigh of distant water, the glimmer of ice under moonlight, become part of a symphony of calm. There is no need to analyze, react, or move. The planet carries all this quiet effortlessly, and you, too, can surrender to it. This is the point where the earth and night are indistinguishable. Silence is not empty but abundant. Cold, warmth, motion, and stillness exist together in perfect harmony. Every force, whether immense or subtle, contributes to a slow, continuous lullaby that stretches across the globe. Remain here. Let the quiet settle into your mind, into your body. The night is complete, but it continues to breathe slowly. Fire sleeps below, ice holds steady above, and wind flows gently around everything. You are part of this balance, invited to release every tension and drift alongside the world itself. As the night unfolds further, the world seems to exhale. Darkness deepens, not as a threat, but as a blanket that wraps around mountains, oceans, forests, and glaciers alike. Even fire, hidden beneath the crust of the earth, pulses quietly in its chambers, steady and calm, reminding every creature, every leaf, every grain of soil, that rest is not just necessary, it is essential. Far above, the sky stretches endlessly. Stars glimmer softly, appearing like delicate pinpricks of light scattered across a deep velvet canvas. The moon casts its pale glow over mountains and seas, highlighting the gentle contrasts of fire and ice without harshness, without urgency. Its light flows effortlessly over snow-covered peaks, reflecting off ice and caressing the curves of cooled volcanic stone. Everything appears connected, bound together in a quiet dance of contrasts. Wind drifts slowly across the land, threading through trees, skimming over frozen lakes, and circling volcanic slopes. It does not rush and it does not demand. Instead, it moves as if it too is aware that tonight is a time for patience, for stillness, for gentle motion. Leaves rustle softly, branches sway just enough to remind the earth that life persists even in rest, but nothing is hurried. In valleys far below, animals have found their places of comfort. Some curl in dense underbrush, others in hollowed rocks or snow-filled burrows. Their breaths are shallow and even movements minimal. The night is a lullaby for all living creatures, teaching them that energy can be conserved and stillness can sustain life. Even the largest beasts, who may roam vast territories during daylight, are now part of this quiet rhythm. On the edges of glaciers, ice shifts almost imperceptibly. Its movement is patient, deliberate, shaping valleys and plains over centuries rather than hours. The ice does not demand attention. It simply exists, massive and silent, a reminder of the planet's endurance. Fire beneath the earth complements this cold, offering warmth in subtle, unseen ways, creating a perfect balance of energy and stillness. Across the oceans, waves move with a new rhythm. Longer, smoother, stretching farther apart than during the day, they mirror the tempo of the night. Water flows gently around rocks, over sand, and beneath floating ice, carrying with it the calm essence of the planet's heartbeat. Even here, in places where power can be overwhelming, the world has learned restraint. Above it all, clouds drift lazily across the starlit sky, stretched thin by distant winds. They do not block the moon or stars but instead soften the glow, creating a gentle, soothing light that touches every surface below. Snow, ice, stone, and water alike accept this illumination quietly, allowing the night to remain gentle and protective. Everywhere, the Earth's contrasts, fire and ice, movement and stillness, warmth and cold, coexist without conflict. They teach a quiet lesson, that strength does not always need to be visible, and power does not always need to move. Sometimes, the greatest force is patience. Sometimes, the deepest impact comes from being calm and steady. As you imagine yourself here, lying beneath this vast sky, you feel the rhythm of the world beneath and around you. The warmth of fire hidden deep within the mountains contrasts with the icy breath of glaciers above. Wind brushes gently against your skin, carrying scents of snow, soil, and distant sea. Every element works together, creating a symphony of rest that surrounds you completely. Time itself seems slower here. Minutes stretch into moments that linger. There is no need to measure or count. The Earth's rhythm becomes yours, each inhalation and exhalation syncing with the pulse of the planet. The world's quiet song hums gently in your mind, unhurried, unbroken, perfect. Even distant volcanic chambers pulse with warmth, a silent reminder of life beneath the surface. Glaciers, oceans, forests, and snowfields all settle into their own steady tempos. Wind moves softly through the spaces in between. The planet does not hurry. It simply exists, full of calm, full of balance, full of rest. The night deepens further, and everything, the smallest leaf, the largest glacier, the hidden fire beneath stone, participates in this perfect stillness. There is no rush. There is no tension. Only a quiet continuity that reassures, soothes, and comforts. Every sound, every motion is softened, measured, and gentle. As you lie within this scene, allow the world's rhythm to seep into you. Let go of thoughts, let go of tension, let the calm pulse of the earth guide your breathing. Fire, ice, water, wind, and stone combine in perfect harmony, and in their balance, you find your own. This is the moment where night is complete, where the earth is at rest, and where you can drift fully into the quiet. The stars will continue their silent watch, the moon will glow softly, glaciers and oceans will move imperceptibly, and the hidden fire will pulse gently beneath. And you, too, are held in this embrace, part of a world that knows exactly how to rest. As the night stretches onward, a softer kind of movement begins to weave through the world. The Earth's quiet rhythm remains, yet subtle motions unfold everywhere. Currents in distant seas, gentle shifts in glaciers, and the faint stirring of wind through mountains and valleys. These motions are slow, deliberate, and unhurried, as if the planet itself is breathing in harmony with the stars above. High mountains stand like ancient guardians, their snow-covered peaks glinting faintly in moonlight. The fire that shaped them long ago now rests beneath layers of cooled stone, its warmth seeping upward in quiet pulses. This hidden heat meets the cold night air, creating a subtle equilibrium that can be sensed rather than seen. The balance is steady, comforting, and enduring, a reminder that even the greatest power can exist without chaos. Across frozen plains, snow continues its delicate descent. Each flake floats gracefully through the air, guided by gentle currents of wind, before resting on the land in quiet compliance. The world grows softer with each layer, edges blur, and the contours of the earth become less defined, more serene. Snow does not rush to cover the ground. It arrives slowly, thoughtfully, creating a blanket of calm that the night embraces fully. Beneath the surface of icy seas, currents drift languidly, carrying life that moves with patience and care. Fish glide effortlessly, conserving energy. Larger creatures float with the subtle push of water around them. Nothing is hurried. Every movement is purposeful yet slow, a reflection of the night's own pace. The sea itself seems to slow, extending its waves, stretching the space between each crest, creating a gentle rhythm that mirrors the planet's heartbeat. Forests respond to the night's stillness in their own quiet ways. Trees bend gently under the soft pressure of wind, their branches swaying in unison like a synchronized dance. Leaves rustle softly, producing a sound that is more like a whisper than a noise, blending seamlessly with the other quiet motions around them. Roots, deep in the soil, hold firm, stabilizing each tree with an invisible strength, grounding the life above in steady calm. Even in volcanic regions, where the Earth's inner fire simmers silently beneath rock, life learns to slow. The heat beneath the ground is steady and controlled, radiating gently into the surrounding stone and soil. It does not erupt or demand attention. Instead, it offers warmth, a subtle reassurance that even in places of potential power, calm is possible. Creatures near volcanic slopes feel this gentle heat, resting without worry or haste. The wind moves carefully, threading between mountains, across valleys, and over rivers frozen in patches of ice. It is quiet, almost reverent, respecting the night and the balance it has created. In some places, it lifts snowflakes into a gentle spiral before letting them settle again. In other areas, it nudges branches ever so slightly, creating the softest movement that reminds all living beings that they are not alone in this stillness. The stars above maintain their steady vigil, reflecting in frozen lakes and ice-covered plains below. Their light moves slowly across the landscape, creating shifting patterns that soothe rather than stimulate. Moonlight casts a gentle glow over peaks and valleys alike, highlighting the balance between fire-hidden warmth and ice-cooled surfaces. Shadows are soft, edges fade, and the entire world seems to be held in a gentle embrace. Even the smallest details contribute to this harmony. A glacier slides just slightly, imperceptibly, molding the land with patience honed over centuries. A wave laps quietly against a distant shore, barely audible but synchronized with the subtle pulse of the planet. The sound of wind through tall trees creates a rhythm, steady and comforting, which blends naturally with the soft hum of life in rest. Night animals, aware of these delicate movements, remain calm. Small mammals retreat into their shelters, birds remain perched without stir, and even larger creatures pause their journeys. All participate in the silent agreement of the earth. Tonight, rest comes first. Movement is only gentle, only deliberate, only as necessary to preserve balance. The earth itself seems aware of every element, connecting fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life into a single, continuous flow. Nothing is wasted. Every motion serves the greater calm. Every pause is intentional. There is wisdom here, a lesson in patience, restraint, and harmony, written not in words, but in the rhythm of the planet itself. As you breathe alongside this world, allow its quiet motions to guide you. Let each slow wave of ice, each gentle swirl of wind, each faint pulse of hidden fire, settle into your own body and mind. You are part of this rhythm now. You are enveloped in the Earth's lullaby, carried through night by forces far older and steadier than anything else you have known. The night continues, and with it, the Earth maintains its perfect balance. Fire pulses quietly beneath mountains. Ice holds steadfast over seas and plains. Wind drifts carefully through forests and valleys. Water moves gently through rivers and oceans. Life rests in a quiet embrace, secure and calm. Stay here, in this shared moment of rest. The planet's movements are slow but deliberate. Its rhythm is steady and predictable. And you, too, are allowed to move or not move in the same unhurried flow, knowing that the night has been designed for peace. As the night deepens further, the quiet of the world grows almost tangible, like a soft blanket draped over mountains, forests, and oceans. The earth moves slowly beneath the sky, guided by forces both visible and hidden, creating a harmony that is gentle yet profound. Here, even the most powerful elements understand the art of stillness. Above frozen seas, the wind drifts lazily, threading its way between snow-covered peaks and glimmering ice. It does not roar or demand attention. Instead, it whispers softly, moving with care, bending only what is willing to bend, leaving untouched everything that rests solidly beneath it. The gentle flow of air carries the faint scent of salt and minerals, a reminder of life and energy circulating silently throughout the world. Ice mountains, immense and ancient, hold steady under the moonlight. Their surfaces shimmer faintly, reflecting starlight in fractured, delicate patterns. Deep within, glaciers shift just enough to maintain their long, patient journeys, pressing slowly against valleys carved over millennia. Every movement is measured and precise, almost imperceptible, yet it shapes the earth with unwavering calm. In forests nestled between peaks and plains, trees respond quietly to the night. Branches sway gently with the wind, leaves flutter in soft rhythm, and roots remain firmly grounded. Life here does not rush. Instead, it participates in the night's natural tempo. Even the smallest creatures, curled into hidden burrows or nooks in tree roots, seem attuned to the soft symphony of wind, snow, and distant water. Along volcanic slopes, the fire hidden deep beneath rock pulses faintly, a steady warmth that rises slowly into cooled stone. The heat does not escape forcefully. It spreads quietly, influencing surrounding soil and plant life without disruption. This hidden fire reminds the earth, and anyone resting alongside it, that strength can exist without movement, and power can persist without noise. Far above, the sky stretches endlessly, clear and wide. Clouds move slowly, stretching thin and barely shifting, allowing stars to shine steadily. The moon casts a silver glow over the land, balancing fire and ice with a soft, impartial light. Shadows are muted, edges blurred, creating a world that feels safe, gentle, and endless. Across frozen plains, snow continues its quiet descent. Each flake finds its place, adding a layer of calm over the land, smoothing surfaces, and erasing the sharp outlines of terrain. The ground becomes a soft landscape, inviting rest and stillness. The snowfall is nearly silent, but it is everywhere, a constant reminder that the world is embracing the night completely. In oceans and rivers, water moves in gentle, measured waves. Currents flow beneath ice and around land, carrying life with patience and care. Fish drift lazily, larger creatures float without hurry, and the rhythm of the tides matches the slow heartbeat of the night. Even the sea, often wild and relentless, has learned restraint under the guidance of the Earth's balance. All these elements, fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life, interact without conflict. Their movements are subtle, intentional, and harmonious, each contributing to the quiet symphony of night. Nothing is forced. Nothing is wasted. The Earth has found equilibrium, and everything within it adjusts naturally to participate in that balance. As you breathe alongside this world, feel the rhythm settle within yourself. The slow pulse of glaciers, the gentle sway of trees, the faint warmth of hidden fire, and the steady motion of water become part of your own awareness. Each breath mirrors the planet's tempo, inviting calm, stillness, and deep rest. Night animals remain quiet, aware of the shared stillness. Predators rest, prey rests, and even the smallest insects pause, conserving energy while trusting in the stability of their surroundings. The night provides them with safety, space, and continuity, a perfect environment for renewal. High above, the stars reflect in frozen lakes, rivers, and glacial ice, mirroring the vastness of the sky. Moonlight casts a gentle glow over every surface, blending contrasts seamlessly. Fire-shaped mountains, icy plains, flowing water, and moving wind exist together in a coordinated dance, synchronized to a pace that is neither hurried nor slow, but exactly right. Even distant volcanic chambers continue their silent pulse, hidden warmth traveling slowly through layers of rock and soil. This energy, invisible yet present, supports life above in subtle ways, maintaining balance without spectacle. It is a quiet power, steady and dependable, part of the unbroken rhythm that stretches across the planet. The night deepens further, and with it, the sense of completeness grows. Silence is not empty here. It is full of subtle movement, life, and energy, all orchestrated in harmony. Every sound is softened. Every motion is measured. The earth speaks in whispers, and in them there is peace. Stay in this quiet world for a moment longer. Let the wind, ice, fire, water, and life guide your senses. Allow the rhythm of the earth to merge with your own, carrying you deeper into calm, into balance, into restorative rest. You are part of this night now, enveloped in the same care, protection, and patience that the planet has practiced for millennia. As the night flows onward, a gentle hush seems to settle over every corner of the earth. Mountains, glaciers, forests, and oceans all breathe in quiet harmony, participating in a rhythm that is ancient and patient. The world has reached a state of balance where every element, no matter how powerful, respects the stillness that night brings. High above, the stars shimmer softly, casting silver reflections across ice fields and snow-laden peaks. The moon hangs low, illuminating volcanic slopes with its gentle glow, softening the outlines of stone, ice, and snow. Fire that once shaped the mountains sleeps below the surface, its warmth rising slowly, subtly, as if breathing alongside the earth itself. Nothing demands attention, everything simply exists. Wind drifts through valleys and forests with deliberate care. It does not rush or roar, it flows as a quiet observer, brushing gently over trees, rustling leaves just enough to remind the forest that it is alive, but not so much as to disturb the deep calm. Branches sway softly, roots remain anchored, and the forest participates in the night's quiet symphony with patience and grace. Across open plains, snow settles in slow layers, creating soft white blankets that erase harsh edges and soften terrain. Each flake is guided gently by currents of wind, floating downward until it finds a resting place. The earth accepts this covering without resistance. It does not need to be perfect. It simply allows the process to unfold with quiet certainty. Oceans move with measured grace. Waves roll long and slow, stretching farther apart than during the day, creating a rhythm that is steady, predictable, and soothing. Beneath the surface, currents drift lazily, carrying life that moves in harmony with the night. Fish glide effortlessly, conserving energy. Larger creatures float, responding to subtle shifts in water pressure and temperature, all participating in the night's patient dance. Even volcanic lands, shaped by fire, honor the night. Heat pulses faintly beneath cooled stone, radiating quietly into the soil, offering comfort to plants and animals without disturbance. The fire does not erupt or demand attention. It simply supports life with silent strength. In this way, even the most intense forces of the earth find their place in the night's lullaby. As you imagine this world, feel the rhythm of the earth guiding your own senses. Breathing matches the sway of trees, the slow descent of snow, the gentle roll of waves. Each heartbeat aligns with the pulse of hidden fire and drifting glaciers. The night moves slowly, yet every moment is precise, deliberate, and calming. Life across the planet pauses in response. Predators rest alongside prey, small animals curl in hidden burrows, and birds remain perched without movement. The night offers safety, space, and stillness to every living being. This is a shared understanding, a universal pause that stretches across continents and oceans alike. High above, clouds drift lazily across the sky, stretched thin by faint winds. Their motion is almost imperceptible, a slow choreography that complements the movement of snow, ice, and water below. The moonlight softens each transition, blending contrasts between dark and light into a harmonious, gentle vision. Even the smallest details contribute to the night's perfection. A glacier shifts slightly, molding valleys over centuries. A wave laps quietly against a distant shore. A leaf brushes softly against another in a forest, producing a barely audible sound. Each movement is part of a greater rhythm, subtle and measured, inviting observers into the calm without requiring attention or effort. The earth itself seems to pulse with life that is invisible yet undeniably present. Fire, ice, wind, water, and stone interact in ways that are deliberate and harmonious. Nothing is wasted. Everything participates in the night's quiet song, from the deepest volcanic chambers to the highest icy peaks. As you lie within this vision, allow yourself to merge with the world's rhythm. Let the slow motions, gentle shifts, and subtle sounds carry you into deeper relaxation. Each inhalation draws in the calm, each exhalation releases tension. The night is vast, yet it feels intimate, wrapping the earth and all who inhabit it in a shared embrace of rest. Even distant mountains, their peaks covered in snow and ice, remain still and enduring. Their form reminds observers of patience and permanence. Strength exists not in movement alone, but in the ability to remain steady, quiet, and resilient. The night carries this lesson across every landscape, every ocean, and every living creature. The stars above continue to shine, constant and unwavering. Moonlight softens as clouds drift lazily, yet nothing interrupts the quiet rhythm of the world below. Water, wind, ice, and fire flow gently together, each participating in a balance that has persisted long before human eyes could observe it. Remain in this space for as long as needed. Allow the night to envelop your senses. Let the subtle harmonies of earth, wind, fire, ice, and water settle into your mind and body. You are part of this rhythm, embraced by the same forces that shape mountains, guide oceans, and rest beneath snow-covered plains. The night continues, deep and unbroken. Silence is abundant yet full of life. Every element, from the faintest breeze to the slowest glacier, contributes to a gentle, unhurried symphony. And you, too, are held within it, breathing with the planet, moving with its rhythm, resting alongside it. The night stretches further, softening every contour of the world. Mountains, forests, glaciers, and oceans exist together in perfect calm, each playing its part in the planet's quiet symphony. Even the elements that once roared with energy now participate with gentleness, allowing the earth to breathe slowly and steadily. Above, the sky remains vast and clear. Stars twinkle softly, scattered like tiny lanterns in a velvet expanse. Their reflections shimmer faintly across frozen lakes, ice sheets, and snow-covered plains. Moonlight flows gently over volcanic rocks and icy peaks alike, highlighting their shapes without sharpness, without contrast. Everything blends together in a harmonious, peaceful glow. Wind drifts lazily through valleys and forests, threading its way carefully among trees. Branches sway just enough to acknowledge its presence, while roots remain firmly anchored beneath the soil. Leaves rustle with quiet rhythm, producing a gentle whisper that complements the night's stillness. This movement is deliberate, never hurried, a soft dance that invites all living beings to pause, rest, and breathe. Snow continues to fall in quiet places, each flake finding its resting spot with perfect patience. Open plains and mountain slopes are slowly covered, smoothing the land and creating a quiet, soft landscape. Even the tiniest details, the curves of a stone, the edge of a branch, the contour of a small hill, are softened by this gentle layer. The earth seems to sigh in relief as it is transformed by the delicate touch of snowfall. In oceans and rivers, water moves with gentle precision. Waves rise and fall slowly, stretching farther apart than during the day, carrying life in a calm, measured rhythm. Beneath the surface, currents drift lazily, guiding fish and other creatures through a world that moves just enough to sustain life without creating disturbance. Larger marine animals float quietly, sensing the rhythm of the night and moving only as necessary. Volcanic lands, often associated with chaos and power, remain steady. Hidden fire pulses faintly beneath the cooled stone, radiating warmth slowly into surrounding soil. This warmth does not erupt or demand attention. It simply exists, supporting plant life, microbes, and creatures that rely on this hidden energy. Even the strongest forces of the planet have learned the art of quiet here. Glaciers shift imperceptibly across valleys, pressing patiently against rock and earth. Their slow movement shapes the land, yet it is almost unnoticeable to the eye. These massive rivers of ice remind observers of the power of persistence, patience, and calm. Over centuries, their subtle motion carves the world without urgency, creating beauty in silence. Night animals rest, attuned to this rhythm. Small mammals curl in burrows, birds nest quietly, and even larger creatures pause their journeys. The shared stillness envelopes all life, creating an atmosphere of trust, safety, and renewal. Every being participates in the planet's lullaby, surrendering to the night's gentle guidance. Clouds drift lazily across the sky, thin and stretched, allowing stars and moonlight to shine through. Their presence softens the light, blending contrasts into gentle hues. Moonlight reflects off snow, ice, water, and cooled volcanic rock, illuminating the world without harshness. Shadows blur, edges soften, and the entire landscape becomes a haven of calm. Even the faintest details contribute to the night's rhythm. A glacier slides subtly, a wave laps against a distant shore, and a leaf brushes against another in the forest, producing barely audible sound. Each motion is part of the larger pattern, a reminder that every element of the earth participates in harmony, no matter how small or large. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life are all interconnected, each contributing to the night's lullaby. Nothing is forced. Nothing is wasted. The earth exists in a delicate equilibrium, and every living creature within it is invited to rest within the same rhythm. As you imagine this scene, allow yourself to merge with the planet's tempo. Let the sway of trees, the descent of snow, the gentle roll of waves, and the subtle pulse of fire beneath the earth become part of your own awareness. Inhale slowly, exhale fully, and feel your body synchronize with the night's calm. The earth's quiet motion is comforting, steady, and reliable. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and wind continue their gentle dance without urgency. Even distant volcanic chambers pulse silently, releasing heat in measured increments. Everything supports life, everything nurtures calm, everything participates in the slow, deliberate flow of the night. Remain here, wrapped in the world's quiet embrace. Allow each element, the snow, the ice, the water, the wind, the hidden fire, and the living creatures around you, to guide you deeper into stillness. The night is infinite yet intimate, vast yet protective, quiet yet full of life. You are part of this harmony. Breathe with the earth, move with the earth, rest with the earth. The planet's lullaby will carry you, softly and endlessly, into deep, restorative sleep. The night grows even deeper, wrapping the earth in a serene, unbroken calm. Mountains, glaciers, forests, and oceans coexist in quiet harmony, each element contributing to the planet's subtle rhythm. Everything moves with purpose yet remains gentle, a dance of balance that has endured for millennia. Above, the sky stretches endlessly, dotted with stars that shimmer like tiny diamonds scattered across velvet. The moon casts its soft, silver light, touching peaks, valleys, and oceans alike. Light glimmers off icy surfaces and snow-covered slopes, reflecting in frozen lakes and rivers with a gentle, almost magical glow. The world feels softened, peaceful, and entirely safe. Wind drifts slowly through the night, moving over volcanic slopes, threading through dense forests, and gliding across open plains. It brushes over leaves and needles, causing subtle rustling that blends seamlessly into the quiet. Branches sway slightly in response, then settle. Even the tallest trees stand firm, their roots anchored deeply into the earth, silently participating in the rhythm of the night. Snow continues to descend in soft layers, smoothing the land, softening rough edges, and transforming the world into a vast, gentle landscape. Each flake falls with patience, finding its place effortlessly. Open plains, mountain slopes, and forest canopies receive it without resistance. The snow's quiet touch brings a sense of calm, wrapping the earth in a comforting blanket. Oceans and rivers maintain their own slow rhythm. Waves rise and fall in measured cycles, stretching the intervals between each crest. Currents drift lazily beneath the surface, guiding fish and other creatures through a world that moves with care. Larger marine animals float gently, responding to subtle shifts in temperature and water pressure, all part of the night's delicate dance. Volcanic lands, shaped by ancient fire, remain steady. Hidden heat pulses faintly beneath cooled stone, radiating upward in a slow, comforting rhythm. This warmth does not demand attention. It simply exists, supporting surrounding soil, plants, and animals with quiet consistency. Even the planet's most powerful forces can rest, contributing to the night's gentle lullaby. Glaciers shift imperceptibly, pressing against rock and earth as they slowly carve valleys over centuries. Their massive, deliberate motion is almost invisible, yet it shapes the world with patience and precision. These frozen rivers remind us that even the greatest power need not be loud to be effective. The night demonstrates that quiet persistence holds the greatest strength. Night animals settle in response to this harmony. Small mammals curl into burrows, birds perch quietly, and even the largest creatures pause their journeys. Life respects the rhythm of the earth, resting alongside it. The night provides safety, stillness, and renewal, a universal embrace that touches all living beings. Clouds drift slowly above, stretched thin by distant currents. They soften the moonlight, blending contrasts into muted hues. Shadows blur, edges fade, and the world is transformed into a sanctuary of calm. Every reflection of light on snow, ice, water, or stone is softened, creating a gentle, restorative environment. Even the smallest details contribute to the night's perfection. The slight creak of a glacier, the soft lap of a distant wave, or the faint brush of leaves against one another adds subtle texture to the Earth's lullaby. Each sound is intentional yet gentle, weaving into the greater rhythm without interruption. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life are interconnected. Each participates in a harmony that is deliberate, precise, and full of balance. Nothing is forced. Nothing is wasted. The Earth exists in perfect equilibrium, inviting every creature, every being, and even human observers to share in its calm. As you imagine this world, let its rhythm enter your own body and mind. Breathe in sync with the sway of trees, the gentle fall of snow, the slow roll of waves, and the subtle pulse of hidden fire beneath the earth. Each inhale draws in calm, each exhale releases tension. The night carries you gently, without effort, into restorative rest. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and hidden chambers of fire all maintain their subtle, unbroken flow. The night is a living, breathing entity, patient, protective, and nurturing. Even distant volcanic heat pulses silently, contributing to the planet's balance without spectacle. Strength exists in stillness, power in quiet, and life in the gentle flow of energy. Stay here, within this landscape of calm. Allow each movement, whether wind, snow, water, or subtle pulse of heat, to guide your senses deeper into relaxation. You are embraced by the Earth's rhythm, a part of the same harmony that shapes mountains, carves valleys, and sustains life beneath ice and snow. The night continues, unbroken and infinite. Silence is abundant but full of life. Every element, from the smallest flake of snow to the vast oceans, contributes to a slow, deliberate symphony. You are held within it, breathing with the earth, moving with its rhythm, resting in its calm. The night deepens further, and the earth itself seems to exhale, releasing every tension accumulated during the day. Mountains, glaciers, forests, and oceans all participate in a quiet rhythm, moving with patience and deliberate calm. This is a night without urgency, a night that teaches the beauty of stillness and the power of gentle motion. Above, the sky stretches infinitely, sprinkled with stars that shimmer softly, their light reflecting faintly on icy peaks, snow-covered plains, and frozen lakes. The moon hangs low, casting a silver glow that softens the edges of volcanic rock, stone, and ice alike. Shadows are muted, and the world seems suspended in a state of calm equilibrium. Wind drifts slowly over mountains and valleys, weaving through forests and gliding over plains. It brushes leaves and needles gently, creating a soft, rhythmic rustle that blends seamlessly into the night's quiet symphony. Branches sway minimally, and roots hold firm beneath the soil, grounding the living world in stability. Even the tallest trees seem to breathe with the earth, responding to the rhythm without effort. Snow continues its descent in delicate layers. Each flake floats slowly, guided by currents of wind, and settles upon the ground with perfect patience. Mountain slopes, forest canopies, and open plains gradually become blanketed in white, smoothing rough edges and softening contours. This gentle transformation fosters a sense of peace, inviting rest and serenity to all life. Oceans and rivers follow their own slow tempo. Waves rise and fall in gentle, measured cycles, stretching the intervals between each crest. Beneath the surface, currents drift languidly, carrying fish and other creatures through a world attuned to calm. Larger marine animals float effortlessly, sensing the subtle rhythm of the water, moving only when necessary. Even the mightiest ocean learns restraint in the night. Volcanic lands, shaped long ago by fire, are still and steady. Hidden heat pulses faintly beneath cooled stone, radiating upward in a soft, steady rhythm. This warmth does not demand attention. It simply exists, sustaining soil, plants, and animals without disruption. Even the Earth's most powerful forces have learned the art of quiet, contributing to the night's gentle lullaby. Glaciers shift imperceptibly, pressing patiently against rocks and valleys. Their slow, deliberate movement, measured over centuries, sculpts the land with subtlety and precision. These ancient rivers of ice remind us that persistence, patience, and calmness are forms of power that endure far longer than any rush or force. Night animals rest, attuned to the gentle cadence of the world. Small mammals curl into hidden burrows, birds nest silently, and larger creatures pause their journeys. The shared stillness fosters safety, trust, and renewal. Life, in every form, participates in the night's lullaby, synchronized to the Earth's slow pulse. Clouds drift high above, thin and stretched, allowing the moonlight and stars to shine through. Their slow movement softens the illumination, blending contrasts into muted tones. Reflections on snow, ice, water, and cooled volcanic rock create a calming visual palette, inviting deep relaxation. Shadows fade, edges blur, and the entire landscape becomes a sanctuary for the senses. Even the smallest details contribute to the night's perfection. The slight creak of a glacier, the soft lap of a distant wave, the faint brush of leaves against one another, each sound adds texture to the symphony of calm. Every motion is subtle, measured, and harmonious, weaving a tapestry of quiet that stretches across continents and oceans alike. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life are all interconnected, forming a network of balance that is deliberate and precise. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is forced. Every element contributes to the night's tranquility, from the faint pulse of hidden volcanic heat to the slow descent of snowflakes. As you immerse yourself in this world, allow the Earth's rhythm to become your own. Match your breathing to the sway of trees, the gentle fall of snow, the slow roll of waves, and the subtle pulse of fire beneath the mountains. Each inhalation draws calm into your body. Each exhalation releases tension. The night carries you effortlessly into restorative rest. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and hidden fires maintain their quiet, continuous flow. Strength exists in stillness, power in patience, and life in the gentle rhythm of energy. Every element, no matter how immense or subtle, participates in the balance, guiding you into a state of deep, restorative calm. Remain here, enveloped by the Earth's quiet embrace. Allow each movement, the wind, snow, water, or subtle warmth, to guide you deeper into relaxation. The night is infinite yet intimate, vast yet protective, quiet yet alive. You are part of this harmony, breathing with the planet, moving with its rhythm, resting alongside it. As the night unfolds further, the Earth seems to hum softly with a hidden energy, subtle and steady, like the slow pulse of a heartbeat beneath the surface. Mountains, glaciers, forests, and oceans all exist in quiet balance, participating in a rhythm that is ancient and enduring. Each element moves just enough to maintain harmony, yet nothing disturbs the overarching calm that blankets the planet. Above, the stars shimmer gently, scattered like tiny lights on a vast, dark canvas. The moon hangs in its quiet grace, illuminating snow-covered peaks, glacial valleys, and volcanic ridges with a soft, silver glow. Its light touches every surface evenly, softening shadows, blending contrasts, and creating a world that feels suspended in a gentle, protective embrace. Wind drifts slowly across mountains, threading through valleys and forests alike. It moves with careful attention, brushing over leaves, needles, and branches, producing a soft, rhythmic rustle. This is a sound of life without urgency, a whispering reminder that the world exists in harmony and that even the strongest forces of nature can move without haste. Roots remain firm beneath the soil, grounding trees and vegetation, providing stability and resilience throughout the night. Snow continues its silent descent, flake by flake, forming soft layers that smooth and soften the land. Mountain slopes, plains, and forest canopies receive each flake with patience. The gentle layering creates a sense of calm and serenity, erasing the sharpness of edges and contours, turning the earth into a vast, restful landscape. Even the smallest details, a thin line of snow along a rock, a dusting across a leaf, contribute to this atmosphere of quiet. In oceans and rivers, water moves with measured grace. Waves rise and fall slowly, stretching the distance between each crest, creating a rhythm that is soothing and steady. Beneath the surface, currents drift lazily, carrying marine life with minimal effort. Fish glide effortlessly, larger creatures float with subtle motion, and the entire aquatic world aligns with the gentle tempo of the night. Even the ocean, often restless and loud during the day, has found restraint under the cover of darkness. Volcanic lands, shaped by ancient fire, remain calm. Heat pulses faintly beneath cooled stone, radiating slowly into the soil and surrounding rock. This hidden energy does not erupt or demand attention. It simply exists, supporting life above it. Plants, microbes, and animals all rely on this subtle warmth, and in return, they participate in the night's symphony of stillness. Glaciers, massive and unyielding, shift imperceptibly. Their slow movement presses against valleys, carves mountainsides, and shapes the earth over centuries. These ancient rivers of ice demonstrate that strength lies not in sudden force, but in persistent, quiet motion. The night encourages observers to slow, to follow the same patient pace, and to appreciate the beauty of enduring calm. Night animals respond instinctively to this rhythm. Small mammals retreat to hidden dens, birds remain perched quietly, and larger creatures pause their nocturnal journeys. Every living being participates in the night's lullaby, trusting the safety and stability offered by the world around them. This universal calm is a reminder that all life, from the tiniest insect to the largest predator, is part of a larger, interconnected flow. Clouds drift lazily across the sky, thin and stretched, allowing moonlight and stars to shine through. Their presence softens the light, creating muted tones and gentle contrasts across snow, ice, water, and volcanic rock. Reflections shimmer on frozen lakes and icy surfaces, enhancing the visual serenity and fostering a sense of deep, restorative calm. Even the faintest details, an ice crystal catching moonlight, a leaf brushing softly against another, or the subtle creak of a glacier, add texture to the night symphony. Each sound is gentle, harmonious, and intentional, blending seamlessly into the larger rhythm of Earth. Every element, no matter how small, contributes to the sense of stillness and protection that the night provides. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life all exist in balance. Nothing is wasted, nothing forced. The Earth's natural processes unfold with precision, patience, and harmony. Even the most powerful forces, like hidden magma beneath volcanic mountains or slow-moving glaciers, contribute to this calm without overwhelming it. Strength and movement exist in perfect equilibrium with stillness and rest. As you imagine yourself within this world, allow your breathing to synchronize with its rhythm. Each inhalation draws in calm, each exhalation releases tension. The sway of branches, the slow fall of snow, the gentle pulse of hidden fire, and the gradual roll of ocean waves all merge with your awareness. The night carries you effortlessly, cradling you in its quiet embrace. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and the hidden fire of the earth maintain their continuous, gentle flow. Strength exists in stillness, energy in patience, and life in the careful rhythm of the planet. Every element participates in a harmonious balance, guiding you into restorative rest. Remain here, enveloped in this serene world. Let every element, the wind, the water, the snow, the subtle heat beneath the mountains, and the life surrounding you, lead you deeper into relaxation. The night is vast yet protective, infinite yet intimate, quiet yet alive. You are part of this harmony, breathing with the earth, moving with its rhythm, resting alongside it, completely at peace. The night has reached a profound stillness, where every movement, every sound, and every presence contributes to the earth's gentle symphony. Mountains stand quietly, glaciers shift imperceptibly, forests breathe with a slow rhythm, and oceans move with steady, measured grace. This is the hour when the planet itself seems to exhale, releasing centuries of tension into the calm of darkness. Above, the stars shine softly, scattered across the sky like delicate specks of silver dust. The moon hangs low, casting its gentle glow on snow-covered peaks, icy plains, and cooled volcanic slopes. Its light touches every surface with care, softening edges, blending contrasts, and creating an atmosphere of serenity that blankets the land. Shadows fade, and contours melt into the gentle folds of the night. Wind drifts lazily across the terrain, weaving between mountains and threading through valleys. It brushes gently against leaves, needles, and branches, producing a soft rustle that harmonizes with the quiet pulse of the earth. The sway of trees is subtle, a slow dance guided by patient rhythm. Roots remain anchored firmly in the soil, stabilizing life above while participating silently in the planet's steady tempo. Snow continues to descend with exquisite patience. Each flake floats gracefully, guided by the soft currents of wind, and lands with delicate precision. Mountain slopes, plains, forests, and frozen lakes receive this silent gift, smoothing rough edges and softening sharp contours. The landscape becomes a sanctuary of calm, inviting both animals and human observers into deep rest and peace. Oceans and rivers maintain their slow, measured flow. Waves rise and fall in gentle cycles, stretching the time between each crest. Beneath the surface, currents drift lazily, carrying life that glides effortlessly through the water. Fish move with minimal effort, and larger creatures float gracefully, responding subtly to the ocean's gentle pulse. Even the mightiest seas, often restless in daylight, yield to the night's patient rhythm. Volcanic regions remain calm, their hidden fire pulsing faintly beneath cooled stone. The warmth spreads slowly into the surrounding soil, sustaining plant life, microorganisms, and animals. This subtle energy does not erupt or demand attention. It exists quietly, supporting all life in a rhythm that mirrors the calmness of the world above. The Earth demonstrates that even the most intense forces can rest without losing their strength. Glaciers continue their patient journey, shifting imperceptibly over rocks and valleys. Over centuries, these slow movements carve mountains, mold valleys, and shape the land with a precision born of endurance. The power of patience, persistence, and quiet motion is evident in every curve and crevice, reminding us that strength is often invisible and gentle rather than loud and forceful. Night animals adapt naturally to this rhythm. Small mammals retreat to hidden burrows, birds nest quietly, and larger creatures pause their journeys. Each being participates in the night's lullaby, finding safety, continuity, and renewal. Even the smallest movements of insects, leaves, or water droplets contribute to a unified, harmonious flow that blankets the earth in tranquility. Clouds drift high above, stretch thin and slow, allowing stars and moonlight to shine freely. Their movement softens illumination, blending contrasts and painting the world in muted tones. Reflections on snow, ice, water, and cooled volcanic rock shimmer softly, reinforcing the sense of calm and inviting observers to rest within the Earth's embrace. Even the tiniest details, an ice crystal glinting in moonlight, the gentle sway of a branch, or the distant murmur of flowing water, enhance the night's subtle symphony. Every sound, every motion, and every presence merges seamlessly into the larger rhythm of the planet. Nothing is out of place, nothing is hurried, all exists in perfect, deliberate harmony. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life are intertwined, forming a network of balance and stability. Each element contributes to the night's quiet song, supporting others in their rest and creating a shared rhythm that stretches across continents and oceans alike. Strength is measured in patience, power in restraint, and life in the gentle, steady cadence of existence. As you breathe with the world, let its rhythm enter your body and mind. Match your inhalation to the sway of trees, the slow fall of snow, the gentle roll of waves, and the subtle pulse of hidden fire. Exhale fully, releasing all tension. The night's rhythm carries you effortlessly into a deeper state of calm, aligning your body, mind, and spirit with the steady heartbeat of the earth. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and hidden fire beneath the surface maintain their gentle, unbroken flow. Their continuous motion, subtle yet powerful, demonstrates that even immense forces can exist peacefully. The night is alive yet serene, vast yet intimate, infinite yet protective. Every element participates in this balance, guiding observers into a state of restorative calm. Stay in this landscape of stillness. Let each element, the wind, the water, the snow, the heat beneath the mountains, and the life surrounding you, lead you deeper into relaxation. The night carries you forward gently, cradled by the earth's rhythm, and allows your mind to drift, fully supported by the harmony of the world around you. The night has reached its deepest, most serene phase. A profound stillness stretches across the planet, touching mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and every hidden fire beneath the earth. Every element moves with gentle precision, contributing to a rhythm that has endured for millennia. The world has become a sanctuary, a place of quiet strength and restorative calm. Above, the stars glimmer softly, scattered across the sky like distant lanterns suspended in velvet. The moon casts a pale, silver glow, illuminating snow-covered peaks, icy plains, and cooled volcanic ridges. Its light creates gentle contrasts, softening edges and shadows while reflecting in frozen lakes, rivers, and glaciers. Every surface catches a trace of its quiet glow, reinforcing a sense of infinite calm. Wind drifts slowly over mountains and valleys, weaving through forests and gliding across plains. It brushes against leaves and needles, producing a subtle rustle that complements the night's quiet pulse. Branches sway gently, moving with the rhythm of the world, while roots remain firmly anchored in the soil, providing stability and grounding for all living things. Even the tallest trees seem to breathe in harmony with the earth. Snow continues its descent in delicate layers. Each flake floats gracefully, carried by gentle air currents, and rests with perfect patience. Mountain slopes, plains, and forest canopies gradually become blanketed in white, smoothing rough surfaces and softening sharp contours. The earth seems to exhale under this gentle covering, embracing the night fully and creating a sanctuary for rest and renewal. Oceans and rivers flow with measured calm. Waves rise and fall in long, gentle cycles, stretching the distance between each crest. Beneath the surface, currents drift lazily, carrying fish and other aquatic life effortlessly. Larger creatures float quietly, responding subtly to temperature shifts and water pressure. Even the vast seas, so often loud and turbulent by day, have learned restraint in the quiet of night. Volcanic regions, shaped by fire long ago, remain calm. Hidden warmth pulses slowly beneath cooled stone, radiating subtly into surrounding soil. This energy supports plant life, microorganisms, and animals without disruption. The fire's silent presence reminds us that even immense power can exist peacefully, providing strength without aggression. Glaciers shift imperceptibly, pressing against rock and earth, carving valleys, and shaping mountains over centuries. These rivers of ice demonstrate the enduring strength of patience. The slow, deliberate motion reshapes the earth with precision, proving that quiet persistence can have the most profound impact. Night animals have adjusted to the world's gentle rhythm. Small mammals curl into dens, birds perch quietly, and larger creatures pause their nightly wanderings. Each being participates in the universal lullaby, trusting in the safety and stillness that the night provides. Even the smallest insects contribute to the harmony of this vast, restful landscape. Clouds drift lazily across the sky, thin and stretched, allowing stars and moonlight to shine unobstructed. Their movement softens illumination, blending contrasts into muted, calming tones. Reflections on snow, ice, water, and stone shimmer subtly, reinforcing the sense of serenity and inviting all who observe to relax fully. Even the faintest details, the soft brush of leaves, the distant lap of waves, or the slow creak of a glacier, add depth to the night's gentle symphony. Each sound and movement is intentional, measured, and harmonious, weaving seamlessly into the larger rhythm of Earth. Nothing is forced, nothing hurried, all exists in perfect, deliberate balance. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life are all interconnected. Each element contributes to the night's quiet song, supporting the others and participating in the same slow, patient rhythm. Strength is found in stillness, power in patience, and life in careful, deliberate motion. The Earth demonstrates that peace and harmony can coexist with immense energy and strength. As you breathe with the world, let its rhythm enter your body and mind. Inhale slowly, matching the sway of trees, the gentle fall of snow, the roll of waves, and the subtle pulse of hidden fire. Exhale fully, releasing tension, surrendering to the night. The Earth's steady rhythm carries you effortlessly into deep, restorative calm. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and hidden fires continue their unbroken flow. The night is alive yet serene, vast yet intimate, infinite yet protective. Every element participates in this balance, guiding observers into a state of deep, restorative rest. Strength exists in stillness, energy in patience, and life in the slow cadence of natural motion. Remain here, enveloped in the Earth's quiet embrace. Let each element, the wind, the water, the snow, the subtle warmth beneath the mountains, and the life surrounding you, carry you deeper into relaxation. The night's rhythm will cradle you, its lullaby unbroken, guiding you effortlessly into a restorative, peaceful sleep. The night has reached its most tranquil phase, where every corner of the Earth exists in quiet harmony. Mountains stand motionless, glaciers shift almost imperceptibly, forests breathe gently, and oceans move with measured, calm rhythm. Even the hidden fires beneath the planet's surface pulse subtly, contributing warmth without disruption. The world has become a sanctuary, a place of complete rest, balance, and restoration. Above, the sky stretches endlessly, dotted with stars that shimmer softly, like tiny lanterns suspended in infinite darkness. The moon casts its gentle silver glow across mountains, glaciers, forests, and oceans alike, illuminating snow-covered peaks and icy plains with a tender light. Shadows are muted, edges softened, and the landscape appears draped in a peaceful, protective veil. Wind moves slowly, drifting across valleys and threading through forests. It brushes gently against leaves and branches, producing soft rustling that harmonizes with the night's rhythm. Trees sway just enough to acknowledge its presence while remaining anchored by roots that grip firmly into the soil. The gentle dance of the forest reminds all living beings that even in movement, there can be calm, stability, and grace. Snow continues to fall quietly, flake by flake, each one settling in perfect patience. Mountain slopes, open plains, and forest canopies become blanketed in white, smoothing rough edges and softening every contour. The snow transforms the Earth into a sanctuary of calm, a place where time seems to stretch, and every detail contributes to an atmosphere of peace. Oceans and rivers move with a deliberate, unhurried tempo. Waves rise and fall slowly, stretching the space between each crest, creating a rhythm that mirrors the planet's heartbeat. Beneath the surface, currents drift lazily, carrying fish and marine life with minimal effort. Larger creatures float effortlessly, responding subtly to water pressure and temperature. Even the most powerful seas have yielded to the calm of night. Volcanic regions remain still, their hidden warmth pulsing faintly beneath cooled stone. This energy radiates slowly, supporting plant life, microorganisms, and animals without disruption. The Earth demonstrates that even immense forces can rest quietly, providing strength and vitality through patience and subtle presence rather than explosive power. Glaciers continue their patient journeys, sliding imperceptibly over rocks and valleys. These rivers of ice carve mountains, mold valleys, and shape the land over centuries. Their quiet persistence is a testament to the power of patience, endurance, and deliberate action. Even the smallest movements of the glacier contribute to the planet's ongoing rhythm, creating a sense of continuity and balance. Night animals rest in harmony with the Earth's tempo. Small mammals curl in hidden burrows, birds remain perched silently, and larger creatures pause their nightly wanderings. Each being participates in the universal lullaby, trusting in the safety, stillness, and constancy that the night provides. Every motion, every pause, is part of the greater symphony of life. Clouds drift lazily across the sky, thin and stretched, allowing moonlight and stars to shine freely. Their slow motion softens the light, blending contrasts into muted tones, and creating a calming visual landscape. Reflections on snow, ice, water, and stone shimmer gently, enhancing the tranquil atmosphere and inviting observers to release tension and relax completely. Even the smallest details add depth to this symphony of calm. A faint brush of leaves, the distant lap of waves, or the subtle creak of shifting ice. Each sound, each motion is delicate yet purposeful, weaving seamlessly into the larger rhythm of Earth. Nothing is rushed, nothing is forced, all exists in deliberate, harmonious balance. Fire, ice, water, wind, stone, and life exist interconnectedly, supporting one another in a gentle, patient rhythm. The Earth demonstrates that strength lies in stillness, power in restraint, and life in the slow, deliberate cadence of natural motion. Every element participates in the night's lullaby, guiding all creatures toward deep rest and restoration. As you breathe alongside this world, allow its rhythm to become your own. Inhale slowly, aligning with the sway of trees, the gentle fall of snow, the rolling waves, and the subtle pulse of hidden fire. Exhale fully, releasing every tension and letting the night carry you further into relaxation. The world's rhythm is steady, protective, and nurturing, inviting you to rest completely. Mountains, glaciers, forests, oceans, and hidden fire maintain their gentle, unbroken flow. Strength exists quietly, energy persists subtly, and life thrives in the harmony of slow, deliberate motion. The night is alive, yet serene, vast, yet intimate, infinite, yet protective. Every element works together to guide observers into profound, restorative calm. Remain here, fully immersed in the Earth's tranquil embrace. Let every element, the wind, the water, the snow, the hidden warmth beneath mountains, and the life that surrounds you, carry you deeper into relaxation. The night's rhythm cradles you, gently rocking your body, mind, and spirit in perfect balance. As the world continues its quiet dance, allow yourself to drift, carried by the lullaby of fire, ice, wind, water, and life. Your mind softens, your body relaxes, and your spirit rests. The Earth has created the perfect environment for deep, uninterrupted sleep. The stars continue to shine, the moon glows softly, glaciers move imperceptibly, oceans ripple with gentle precision, and volcanic warmth pulses quietly beneath the surface. Every part of the planet participates in this symphony of calm, and you, too, are held within it. The night has woven its lullaby around you, and in its embrace, you find complete peace. Sleep now, fully and deeply. The Earth supports you, the night guides you, and the harmony of all elements carries you into dreams, safe, calm, and restored. The world rests, and so do you, in the gentle, infinite rhythm of nature.